Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome. I'm using my mic, so let me know if this all sounds okay. Can you guys hear me good? I'm trying to set this up the right way. Evening. Mama Bear is in the house. Did the link work? Does my mic sound weird? I feel like it's echoing or something. I don't know. Welcome, everybody. So tonight we are going to go over some true crime stuff. I'm going to figure out how we get Mama Bear up here. Waiting for her response. No? All right, I'm going to drop the link here because I don't have anybody blocked on StreamYard. That I do know. All right, copy. No one hit this link because no one's going to be coming up except for Mama Bear. So please do not hit the link. All right, paste. This is one. Okay, and I'm going to ask you guys, please be patient with me because this is all new to me, this whole little setup that I'm trying to use tonight. I'm doing it from my laptop and I don't really know how to pull a whole lot of stuff up. So we're going to make practice make perfect. So does the mic sound okay, you guys? What up? Shelly's in the house. How you doing? Jordy, how you doing? Let's see who's all here today. Oh, look, I think I got Mama Bear. I gotcha.
You got me.
Yay! All right, let's finish just saying hey to everybody while we're here. I don't know what was going on when I was sending it to you on Messenger. Does the mic sound okay?
Yepper.
All right, cool. I thought since I got my whole laptop, so I'm like, we're gonna learn this because I need to learn it anyway. So, let's see. Cutting stunts in the house. How you doing, beautiful? Let's see. I think some other Mitch is in the house. What's up, Mitch? How you doing? Beautiful. All right, so tonight we are going to go over the Idaho 4 case. We're going to give some updates. Some of the stuff you guys delete the link. Well, it don't matter. Hopefully nobody will come up, but if they do, here, let me see. Right. No, I'm not trying to hit the link. Let's see. Remove. All right, link's gone. All right, so we don't have to worry about that, so they won't come up and interrupt the show. What's up, Elle? How are you doing, sweetie? Northwood Press is in the house. How you doing? So we're gonna okay. If I missed you, please no, I didn't mean to. I'm trying to go back up. This is so different using my laptop. Here, I'm gonna cut my camera on so you guys can see me. Yes, I still have my Christmas tree up. Make fun of me if you want. I don't care. I like the ambiance of the clear lights. Relaxing. All right. So, what's up, everybody? So tonight we're gonna do. This is gonna be the beginning of my show and Mama Bear's show on true crimes. So I have a little research team on things because of things that I have to do. But for fun, when we don't have nothing to do, we dig into cases that may have made national news that's got our peaks, got our attention, and we're just kind of see what we can look in it. For people that like to research and look at stuff like that, when you don't have nothing to do, it's boring. So Mama Bear is one of the best researchers. She's awesome. I actually have all of them are really good. So shout out to all the Hot Mess crew. But I got to thinking all the stuff she was picking up, and I'm like, hey, why don't we showcase some talents here and talk about things we all like to talk about? So what's up, Mama Bear? Welcome. It's your show too, honey.
Welcome. And we have dug into the Idaho 4 and we have every one of the paperwork that they have done.
Yeah.
And it is tremendous what they have done in the Idaho 4.
Yeah.
The paperwork that has been filed by the defense and the prosecution is unbelievable.
So do you have so in the forms that we have it in, I know we have some in, links and different things like that. Do we have anything, any videos or anything you might want to bring up so we could
Yes,
show?
there is tons of videos. We have right from the very beginning.
Yeah, I
We
was gonna
have
say, why don't you catch everybody up just in case they're happen to be living underneath a rock and don't know what the Idaho 4 is?
the Idaho 4 is 4 college students in Moscow, Idaho, that were murdered um, back in November. The 4 college students were in a house in Moscow, and they were murdered, allegedly murdered by Brian Kohlberger. Um, they were allegedly murdered back in November of 2022. Um, and he was picked up in Pennsylvania. He
Yeah, and
was,
this case from the beginning has been wild, right, Mama? That's what got our
oh,
attention.
this has
I mean,
been amazingly wild.
yeah,
He
not
was,
something that you hear about like every single day for college students. You know what I mean? Like out for a night of fun and then come home and before morning hits, there's a brutal, brutal unaliving.
he,
And
allegedly stabbed the 3 girls and a boy.
yes,
And he was arrested in Pennsylvania, and he was flown back um, on the 4th of January of 2023.
so let's pause right there because so he gets arrested, and everything's been there was a lot of rabbit holes. Nobody knew who, what, when, where. I don't know about you guys, but he was not on my list of suspects at all. We had the food truck guy, we had this guy, we had the Uber person. I think there was a neighbor that was, like
Yeah,
I mean, it was
they
kind of all
put
over the
out
place, right?
that they were looking for a white car.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna kind of build up, right? Because I want people to, for maybe people that haven't followed this case, to understand how big of a it was kind of crazy. Like we had videotapes from the food truck, because they thought the one food truck guy was there. So
Yep,
then they finally, a couple days into it, and we're covering. A couple days into it, they're like, okay, we're looking for a white 4-door car. So then the internet goes crazy. Everybody's looking for this white car. We found white cars by dumpsters. We found white cars here, there. Boom, they
but
ended up finding the white car. And then go ahead,
they
tell what happened
didn't
from there.
tell anybody that they were already tracking him
Right, exactly. So,
because they had a sheath from a knife, they had the DNA,
well,
and
once they got in yeah, you're right. They had the sheep. They had the DNA. What did they get out of the trash can once they figured out it was him?
um, they got a lot of evidence out of the trash can. The FBI put out a list of stuff that they found in the car
Hmm.
that they put out.
And they didn't immediately arrest him, right? They kind of followed him
They
on his
followed
journey because he
him.
was leaving from the college area, going back to his
Yep.
parents' house.
They
And
followed him across the United States because he drove the car back home.
yeah, and they
So they,
pulled him over what, like 2, maybe 3 times?
yep, he was pulled over, and I think it was kind of they were following him. I think
Yeah, I
they
mean,
were tracking him.
obviously, I don't know if he didn't figure that out, but clearly they were.
They were tracking him. And I think they knew I think they knew who he was at that point
Hmm.
from the DNA. So they tracked him all the way across, and they have the videos of his being stopped from the state troopers along the way. So he was picked up and he was flown back on the 4th day. The SWAT team moved in and picked him up. It was a SWAT move that when they picked him up in Pennsylvania at his parents' house,
Right.
SWAT moved in.
And the only reason I'm not showing any of this stuff yet, or any of this stuff, is because honestly, by this time, most of you have already watched all this. We actually covered this stuff. You can go back to one of our old videos where we covered and showed the body cams of him getting pulled over, showed all that stuff, right? So with this being a series, with us doing a series, I definitely wanted to cover this one first because there's been a lot of new stuff that's came up, a lot of new stuff that's happened, which I'm sure you're very aware of. But we're gonna go ahead and just catch up because we fell a little behind.
He was charged. He has been charged with burglary with the intent to murder, which is a maximum of 10 years, 4 counts of first-degree murder, maximum death or life sentence, and they are pursuing the death penalty.
And so, and since this has all happened, the house has actually been demolished, right?
Yes, the house.
Can you tell us a little bit about that journey?
The family tried right up until the very end. Some of the family members did not want it taken down. It did no good. The college owned the house. It was donated to the college. The person that owned the house donated it to the college, and it was torn down during the Christmas break. Let me find it. It was the contract that was done. I have the contract of what it cost to tear the house down. It was a bizarre contract, let me tell you. Reading the contract, it was very bizarre how they did the contract to tear the house down. Very, very bizarre how that contract was wrote. I've never seen a contract like that before, but it was very bizarre. It was, they had a 3-day contract to tear it down. They did it in less than 8 hours.
Well, you know what I thought, and me and you talked about this when all this was going on. What I thought was kind of odd. I remember in many cases, but I'll bring up a national case, right? The Breonna Taylor stuff. I remember when the grand jury and everything was going around. They actually went back to the apartment, and actually, in this, if I'm not mistaken, this last case that we had with Hankinson that got a mistrial, and we're going to be retrying in October. They also went over there on the outside of the apartment, right? Because they wanted to see where certain things were, and it was very vital to a lot of different things, right? And so I was very blown away that they did not, the judge didn't want, and I understand that, you know, it's a hard thing that's, you know, for all the kids to see, but like whether that house is there, I can guarantee you the emotions that everyone feels in that neighborhood and that community is not gone anywhere, because this has been such a national case, and this is something, unfortunately, they're going to learn the hard way, is court cases will be coming up. That'll always be a memorial, even if they never build anything there, which I do think they are planning to do something there. But regardless, if they never did anything there, for the rest of true crime history, there will be people that can go and drive over there, because I know a lot of us moved away from Springfield Drive because you can't, you're just kind of stuck in that, you know, like you're just there because so many people want to come and see it, and which is, you know, understandable. So I didn't understand, you know, that for 2 reasons. One, I think they were trying to solve for people to stop coming and stuff. That's not going to stop it. And 2, you know, I was just a little shocked that they're not going to use it during the court hearing. I do know that there's a lot of technology, and I know they did all of that stuff ahead of time, but I just think there's nothing like going when you have that piece of evidence, that actual house, to go there. So I've really found that kind of, I don't know, I found it kind of weird. I was siding with the parents. I thought it should stay until after court.
It was $20,000 to take the house down, and in the contract, and the way it was set up, they had actually roadblocks where the roads were blocked off and flagmen to take the stuff out.
Right.
And it was actually burnt that day because they were afraid of looters to take the stuff for souvenirs.
Yeah.
But in the contract, they could not have anybody. The way it was worded was really funny. But they had, they left the memorial that was there at the front of the house by the
Mhm.
road. That was left.
Right, and I do think the school had said something about that they were gonna do something in remembrance, for them there, which
Right.
I think they should. Unfortunately, it was such a brutal, brutal, brutal thing. And like I said, it's for whatever reasons, I guess the same reason we're sitting here talking about it right now. There's gonna always be people that are infatuated with this because you think about the mind, like why do people do things like this? The whole situation was very bizarre. And so I don't think that just because you take down the house, it doesn't it's not going to change what happened there, unfortunately. And so okay, so the house got knocked down. So here recently, Brian has put in for a new venue. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
He is trying to get a new venue out of Moscow, and a
Mhm.
lot of that is the jury pool.
Yeah.
He is trying to get a different jury pool because he doesn't think he's going to get a fair trial in Moscow. Um, in some ways, from what I've seen people talking, it may be a good thing
Yeah.
because it's going to be a limited jury pool because it's such a popular case there. Um,
Yeah, but isn't I mean, like, I think
do I think they're going to get it? No.
even if they do, though, wouldn't they have the same? And this is the thing about national cases. I never understood, like, we all watch these when things happen, whether it's police brutality, whether it be, a serial killer, a serial rapist, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, we all see these things on TV and stuff, but like, I didn't realize how affected, like, how things really are until like you're thrown in the middle of one, right? And so I just can't help but think, like, okay, I get trying to move it out of that area because, of course, it's definitely going to probably be, whatever. A lot of people are going to hear about this case. But isn't that the kind of the case really almost anywhere?
Yeah. Yeah. Just like, they have fought to get the grand jury unsealed.
Hmm. Well, hey, I'm going to tell you right now, it can happen.
And the judge
I did not
denied
know.
it.
I didn't even know that grand jury stuff wasn't even supposed to be like out and stuff like that until my testimony was thrown everywhere. So
There, he wants it out now. That will taint the public.
yeah, it will. It will.
And
And I mean, it's and it's a
you-
lot. And like in I don't see this per se happening really with this case, but in our situation, like everything that was said in the grand jury was lies, right? So then it was released and all these statements came out, which was kind of good because then we got to realize like what they lied about. So I don't know, man. It's just
and you know, just like it's been a year, and I was reading an article recently about Kaylee.
mhm.
Evidently the family has gotten the autopsies and stuff. Um, Kaylee was awake when it happened, and the family has made it public.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing, right? And it's hard because when you have victims of families of victims and different things like that, it's hard not to speak on that stuff because I mean, I can't even imagine. I can try to imagine, you know what I mean? Like obviously none of our kids have been murdered like this. So but it would I know I was frustrated in the very beginning of the case and we weren't even family members because it was like, what is going on here? What is, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And so I could understand why the family feels, and it's taken so long and it didn't it just get not going to be till what, like next year or possibly the year later.
they're looking at spring, at the summer of next year before this is even going to go to trial.
Well, and I can say be prepared that it get pushed out even more than that because 5 years almost and we're still fighting. 4 years and we're still fighting. So, I could see things like
There
this,
is
especially
so
with him.
much evidence, and the
Well,
They're
with it being
saying,
a lot of with the evidence and everything, I think his lawyers are still gonna try to push it and push it and push it because if you know anything about, like, especially type stuff like this, any kinda, like, murdering or any, like, long period of time somebody might be getting, one of the biggest tricks is to, push your case out as much as you can. Because if you continue to push it out, then things change, memories change, you know what I mean? Like, but evidence doesn't change, so
well, they keep throwing that they're not getting evidence. Well, they can't get evidence that the prosecution don't have yet because it's not back from the FBI lab or the labs. So they can't give it to them if they don't have it.
well,
And that was said in court the other day.
yeah, in that case, the Bryce case with the man that killed the two young children and burnt them and stabbed them, it was crazy because when his defense was like, saying stuff, and they were just acting like, oh, they didn't know anything, they didn't know anything, but it takes time. Every single time you go to court or every single time, whatever, you have to wait for these blood samples to come back. You have to wait for fingerprints or whatever it may be in the situation. And same thing in their case. I'm sure there's stuff that just hasn't came back yet because one, all these places that do stuff like this, I mean, it's not like they're not busy, so it's just I just think that that's just
And the FBI has been in the house a couple different times taking pictures, and they have a machine they set up, and it goes around the room, and it inch by 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 inch, it takes pictures.
Mhm.
And I think they said there's over 12 thumb drives full of evidence.
Yeah, and to Shelly's, she said that's ridiculous. How could it be taken so long in this day and age? Exactly. In this day and age is the reason why it can be taken so long. It depends on what lab they're using, how backed up all their stuff is. It could be a numerous of reasons of why testing. It could be,
Idaho has
so
had a couple serious, serious murders.
right. And Mitch makes a really good point too, because while yes, evidence is very important, if they're doing it with obviously with the jury pool, I mean, listen, honey,
They've
one
got the
juror is all it
Daybell
takes.
murder. They've got the Daybell murders. They've got that, and they've also got the little boys, the 3 little
Mhm.
boys that were murdered. Um, Idaho has got just them. They've got the Jeremy Best murder.
Mhm.
Um, they've got the Thomas. Oh, that's a uh,
And that's the ones we know
Mar-
about, right?
Marjorie Colaire murder.
Mhm.
Um, Brian Kohlberger. They've
Right.
got
And well, I want to bring
Daybell
up something that
murder.
Mitch said too. Like you can have all the evidence in the world, but it takes one juror. And it wasn't until I mean, I've always knew that jury stuff is important. But it wasn't until we were sitting in that case and we heard all this evidence. It was solid evidence. It was their mouths speaking in court. We did this. It should have never happened. I'm wrong for doing this. You know what I mean? Yes, I took pictures that I shouldn't have took. Yes, I took shots that I shouldn't have took. Yes, this happened because of whoa. One juror.
To
One juror. Hold on, mama. One juror to make a mistrial. So to back up what he's saying, what Mitch is saying, I definitely understand that because evidence is a lot, but the jury is more sometimes.
just in this county, they have 6 murder cases going on.
Right. And I mean, and that's right. That's just in that county, right? But it's even, I don't think it's because, I mean, I do think it's because they have 6 murders and it's backed up, but you can't, they're going to make sure that they go through all this evidence with fine tooth combs. But again, just like that, go back to what Mitch said, and to what I know and what I've seen, it doesn't really matter about the evidence. I mean, it does matter, but it's not going to matter to the trial. So, even to go back to what Shelley said, like, why is it taking so long? It's going to keep on it. I have a feeling that once it gets to summer of next year, it will be pushed down again. That's just what I think.
And
From
since they didn't get the, the grand jury indictment out, they have the right to take it to a higher court.
right.
So they may be in the process of taking it to the higher court.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's also the camera issue because the judge issued the courts will handle the camera. All these camera set, court TV, all these people, there's probably, I know about 10 that wanted their cameras in the courtroom.
Right. But that's
Got
not how they
told
do it. So
no.
they only allow one camera in all courtrooms.
So
That feed will go through the judges. That feed will go through the rest of the news people that are upstairs. Yeah, they'll never let that. They don't ever let cameras like that in there. In
So
any courtroom.
they may be going to a higher court saying, we want our cameras in there.
That's not the
So-
higher court will tell them no on that because what
So
happens is
That
what
may
happens
be
is
another issue
Go ahead.
that they lost that. They may say, we want the court, our
Right.
cameras in. So
but they're not
that
going
may
to do
be
that.
another issue that goes on. So, because they
Okay.
lost that issue. Because at first it was court TV having their cameras in there. And then the judge said, nope, no more of that. I'm going to
Right.
control
So are
the
you
camera.
understand, Mama? Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you understand what I'm? They'll never allow in any courtroom in America all those cameras like that. Not with the technology that they have anymore. If the judge's discretion allows
Right.
any cameras in there, it'll be one camera. That camera's feed will go to the judge's stuff. That camera's feed will go to all. They'll have the news press up in a different room somewhere, usually on a different floor, because they don't even want them down when people are coming in and out. And so yeah, I mean, he can take that. That would be silly for them to take that to the highest courts because they're not going to win that.
Right.
Now, there's other things they could probably take that, which I think his lawyer will be stupid. But if he does do it, that'll show me that they're just going to try to keep things tied up in silly shit so they don't have to really focus on the actual date, and then that date will get
Now,
pushed off
some
to
of the
say-
family members only got, when they cleaned the house out, they were only given limited items out of the house
right.
because they said they were too contaminated to give them back to the families, or they were kept for evidence.
Well, that's, and we've talked about this too. That's something that, and we will be showing the trial when this goes down. Whenever it goes down, we will be airing it. If I have to back into the feed so we don't get in trouble, whatever, we're doing it because I want to see.
I've got the judge's feed.
Right. So what
The
I was
link to
saying
it.
was, why I want to see this is because I want to see inside that house. I want to see, because that'll tell me a lot on like his mind, like stuff we've already found out has already told me a lot on his mind. But the fact that there was so much activity in that house that there was literally blood dropping in the around the foundation of the house. Sorry, my cat.
I'm hoping and praying they have the closure before the 2nd year anniversary.
I wouldn't put money on it. I don't put faith in stuff like that anymore because I'm sitting through 4 or 5 cases that have took 4 to 6 years to even get into a courtroom. So,
but they, Moscow is ordered to pay his defense.
yeah, because he's saying he don't have money. That's the way
the county is paying for his defense.
Yeah, I mean, just like
because
you pay for murderers in New York, and I pay for them here in Kentucky.
Because he is getting a public defender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Mitch, you can ask a question, sweetie. So it'll be interesting, though. I really want to see the inside of that house, because there for a long time there was a lot of people who were like, "Oh, one of them was beheaded." That's not true, actually.
No.
Now, Fingers were most definitely. But no, she was not beheaded. I also heard recently that one of the roommates was a trans girl. Not that would ever matter, but I'm going to make sure we knock that down because that's not true. Not even close. And so I just think that the crazy thing is, to me, I really think that he was planning to do something like this eventually because of the way his studies was, the way he
was very educated.
Right?
Very.
Like he took these courses on purpose. Like I don't think he took this stuff and was like, yeah, I really think he's always been infatuated with this kind of stuff. And I think it was just a matter of time. And I think if he ever gets out, he'll do it again.
Oh, he had education from Pennsylvania, where he went to school in Pennsylvania. His one professor in Pennsylvania,
Hmm.
he she she
Well,
taught
didn't he
on,
study her and all, and
yeah,
even the
and she taught on uh
BK killer?
yeah,
Yeah, that's what, we were both thinking the same thing.
and he was studying people on how they murdered people.
He was doing the he had that, when did he have that survey and stuff that he put out?
Yeah,
And this is all in our old video of this when this all first happened, you guys. I showed all of this, and sorry, I should have done a little rich through it. Mitch said, "What did they show when they showed his house?" So, okay, so you had the house, then you have his apartment, and then you had his parents' house. So, Mama Bear, will you do you remember exactly what they took? Let's just go over his apartment first, which was on campus, and he had it because of his job, right?
yep.
Yeah.
Let me go back and see if I can find what they took. Let me find the search warrant.
I believe they got. I knew they took some. Let's see. I'm trying to think. It's been a second. I should have looked at that. Laptops. There was like a code or something. The big thing that he found in, from what I can remember, was from his parents' house, and they took some stuff out of the trash can. Sorry, we have a Skinner playing in the background. My God, bad y'all. For anybody that might be picking that up. She's looking at the notes now because it's that part's been a little while since we went over that, but it is in our old video. And then I remember the knife cover was found at the college house. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette because this shit makes me want to smoke a cigarette. And what we're gonna do, you guys, while Mama Bear is looking for this stuff, so we picked Idaho for tonight because that was kind of what I kind of wanted to go over and get updated. The next week, we're gonna do the cases up in Indiana with the two young girls and give an update on all of that. So each Thursday, we're going to pick until we get caught up on the ones that we've already done, which is a couple of them. And then I would like to take, if there's like cases that you all like and that you guys follow, but maybe you just want to deep dive and find out a little bit more in it, we can do that as well. Mythology is the key to understanding him, finding his yes. I'll tell you a little secret. I like stuff like this because um I don't know, I like to find out the way the brain works. What's up, Michael? How are you doing today, sweetie? We are doing true crime today. Yeah, I brought my mic out because I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna see if I sound any better on this thing. I haven't had it in a while since I moved, so I did lose my ear things that go to it, but I found these. So, how's everybody's night going? Is everybody doing okay? Hopefully, this mic's not too loud.
Okay.
Hello. Ah, she's going through that real quick. He had. I know he
Okay.
had
A book.
a book. Go ahead.
A book. AT&T bill. A Glock. Smith and Wesson pocket knife. Folder with vehicle paperwork. An Acer laptop. Uh, Substance in a green container. Documents, green level. Suspect in a plastic bag, white paper bag with passwords, white paper with passwords, power club, cell phone, 3 Glocks, 44, black face mask, prescription black gloves, 1 black mask, This is what was found in Pennsylvania.
And so that was at his apartment, right?
Nope, this is his parents' house.
Oh, that's his parents.
New
Okay.
Balance shoes, colored a jacket. They write funny, I'll tell you. It's hard to
Hey,
read.
listen, I shout out to Mama Bear because she really be helping me, honey, because I can't read half their shit.
Jacket, jeans, colored um, shirt, pants, colored pants, one glove, other one not there. A couple more guns, a laundry basket, and then they did 1, 2, 3, 4 swabs, 2 pairs of dark colored boots, one brown boot. This was from the state troopers.
I'll tell you another thing that I'm really interested in finding out about this, because I've thought about this. I have, especially when it first came out and we was watching everything, and I was just like, man, how the fuck did he get out of that house without leaving any blood? I got a couple theories, but we won't know until the case comes out. One of my theories is that he brought change of clothes with him. Another one of my theories is that he took garbage bags or something and put it over him, and so he didn't drop anything when he left, because from what I can remember, they never found anything outside. Right?
No, they found a glove outside of the house.
Right, they found a glove, but other than that, they didn't find any. They didn't find footprints. They didn't find blood droplets.
And they've got DNA from it, but they do not know who the DNA is from.
Right, they're waiting on that DNA. Yeah. And then there was the blood, and you know it was bad because like there was the blood driplets outside of the foundation of the home, and I don't know what bedroom that was or whatever, but and so Bryce said, Summer, have you heard of the Green River Killer? Yes, I have actually heard about that. We could cover that one day. I'm cool with that. Christmas never ends. I like the ambiance that the tree gives. So when I cut all my lights off, because that way I don't have to have all these bright lights on. It's just, I don't know, it's relaxing. So yeah, I still have my tree up. Summer, it'd be great to go over a case against Michael. Okay. Yeah, we could do that. Definitely could do that. One glove. Okay. Shelly, let's see. Remains of the Green Ring Killer, 49th and last known victim.
Okay, out of the car, they got swabs, Ziploc bag with pink zipper, 7 quarters, plastic baggie with green zipper, 36 dimes, 32 nickels, 8 pennies, gloves, receipts, car insurance card, car registration, hiking boots, comfort and key holder, stay information, tire iron, shovel, goggles, floor mats, reflective vest, used water bottle, wrench, door panel, seat cushions, headrest, seat belt, visor, filter, brake pedal, gas pedal, phone charger, band-aid, wrappers, maps, documents, seat belt.
I just want to our new Nunye. I don't want to say your name wrong. I'm just saying new business. Hey, sweetie, welcome to the channel. So we're going to start a true crime series right now. We're just kind of updating on some of the cases that have been out there. Well, tonight we're updating on Idaho 4, just to get caught up on stuff. But yes, I will be leaving this video up, and this will be a thing every Thursday. We will cover a case that, I used to do this a little bit and then kind of got distracted and life came up. So now we're trying to get back to it. And I'm bringing a team member on, Miss Mama Bear. And so yes, this video will be up, and so hopefully you'll come back and visit with us, and hopefully you'll come hang out with us on Thursdays. Plus, we're doing a ladies' night tomorrow night too. So just saying. Let's see. Go ahead, Mama.
They took 4 samples of Brian Kohlberger's DNA, swabs taken from the inside of Kohlberger's mouth, and or blood samples. They took the swabs from him there in Pennsylvania.
Yep. Let's see.
That's
Mitch
it.
said, "Oh, go ahead. Sorry."
No, it's okay.
This started when he was young. He saw something. With his curiosity, it started his journey of education. He was after a perfect crop. Yes, 100%. That's what we were saying earlier, Mitch. I mean, this is not something that I think he just one day was like, yeah, this is what I think I'm going to do. From what I could see, I feel like he was kind of infatuated with this a little bit, and not even just as far as like committing the murders. And since I believe that he wanted to do it and get away with it and show how it could be getting away with. And yes, I do agree that he was definitely a BK fan. Let's see. Shelly says, I am here. Maybe I could take a little road trip to show area. Oh, but Shelly, we're going to have to talk because we're going to get you on a road trip, girl. He was intimidating the Zodiac killer. Yes, I think that was definitely, I mean, his professor, she was one of the people that, did studies on him. And so I think he, in my opinion, I think he knew exactly what he was doing, and he wanted, this is what he wanted. I don't think maybe he didn't want to get caught. I think he probably thought he was going to get away with it. But we'll see. I mean, there's still a lot more to this case that is just crazy.
His professor, she was she did a lot on the BTK killer.
Yeah, like she did a whole lot. She wrote books and everything, didn't she? If I'm not mistaken.
She interviewed him.
Nanya. All right, cool. I could do that. Thank you, Nanya. Thank you for breaking that down for me, because I appreciate that.
She interviewed him.
Yeah, she interviewed him. Yep.
She did the confession of a serial killer.
Yep.
Series.
Shelly said, do you think there were others involved? That's a good question. A lot of people have asked that. I don't think there was. This is just my opinion. We'll see the facts, obviously, when they get here, if they have them. I personally, I don't think he was. I don't think anybody else was involved. I think that this is something that he was infatuated with. With people that have minds like this, there's always, I don't know, it seems to be there's always some kind of infatuation with whatever, they're doing. So
he got a ticket just before the murders by the college.
Yep. And then there was a lot of people that came out that went to college with him, because of course there's always those people that are like, I was in school with him. But a lot of people were like, dude, he's just odd.
He was filmed at the memorial for the girls for him.
Well, and this is, I don't know this for a fact, but I remember there's a podcast that I watched back then, and damn, I can't remember the name of it in a second. But anyway, we were all sitting there, and he could have sworn that Brian called in. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, I think like some news people picked it up and stuff. It was pretty crazy. So I don't know. I think he was definitely watching everything. I think he was watching the blogs too, in my opinion.
They actually have pictures of him at the memorial.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's not a big surprise, right? We know that if you study anything like this, or just are familiar with stuff like this, a lot of times people will go back to the crime scene and look and see what's going on and watch it and watch everything. You know what I mean? So yeah, that doesn't surprise me one bit. He wanted to get caught. It was his solution to the Zodiac and Ice Cream Man. Maybe.
He got sloppy and left the shield.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to get caught. And this is my opinion, and I respect, I can totally see where your opinion's coming from, Mitch. But I think, in my opinion, I just think that I don't think he meant to leave that. I agree with Mama. I don't think he meant to leave that slot there, or however you say it.
The sheep.
It was odd when he said, I'm the only one arrested. It could be mind games. It could have been. I mean, there's a lot of people that think maybe there was someone else. There's people that think that it wasn't Brian at all. And that's why we say allegedly, because obviously we don't know yet. And until he gets sentenced, we, kind of got to stick with that. What am I doing?
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Is that better? I think I just now plugged my stuff in. I don't know. Anyway, I know there's a lot of people that think that, he had help or whatever. I don't think his parents were involved. Some people assume that, but I don't think that was it.
Well, there was a murder and another murder in Pennsylvania, and his parents got called in on it to testify to see where Brian was.
And and remember, there was a lot of questions about some of the animals in the area that had been killed as well. I remember when all that was going around too.
And he got ruled that he wasn't involved.
And yeah, he probably does have that, Mitch, 100%. KS, how are you doing, sweetie? Welcome. How you doing? I don't know. And again, your opinion matters. And so, and that's great. And I don't think he wanted to get caught just yet. That's just kind of my opinion, and how I look at it. And Mitch says, yes, he did. Every serial killer leaves, a trophy. Well, then that's great, Mitch. But we're here giving opinions, so we can both have them, babe.
We love you,
my
Mitch.
father actually studies serial killers, so I get it. I can totally see what you're saying, 100%. I don't know. I don't know if he was ready to get per se caught just yet. I don't know. And you know what? Honestly, none of us will ever know, right? Because we're not him. We don't know if what his big master plan is, and until we see all the evidence, and maybe he has all this stuff written down, that we don't know about. So I don't know yet. You know what I mean? So
they have requested evidence from everybody, from Facebook to TikTok to every phone company, for everybody.
Right.
And I do mean everybody. Snapchat. You name the company, they have requested data from everybody.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because again, we can all speculate 100%. Mitch has talked to serial killers. My father studies in serial killers for a living, right? So I get all of that, but none of us are really going to know into his particular mind until all this shit plays out. A lot of it is bizarre. There's a lot of different bizarre things. I can see why people think that he had somebody else. All the way from, like, even Shelly said, hey, am I the only one that's been caught? You know what I mean? Or that could be just mind games. He could have maybe wanted to be caught right now, and that's why he left the slip behind. Some serial killers like to play around a little bit before they get caught right away. So it just depends. I think each person and each individual is different, but definitely has the same layout too. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. Anything else you can think of that's kind of up to date?
Nope. Trying to find what was in his apartment. There's there is so much here.
And so what we will do, some of the stuff that we've talked about tonight, guys, we will put in the things that I can. We're gonna put in the community page so you guys can see them. These are actually court documents that have been, we've been able to get. A lot of court documents you can get as long as there's not like a seal or something on them. You just gotta either wait till they're released or put a FOIA report in or any of that kind of stuff, right? And Mama's Bear is really good at that kind of stuff. You want to find some shit out, honey, you better go ask Mama. But it'll be interesting to see how it was just him. I believe that too. I think that as well, Mitch. I think that very much so. I think it was just him. There's a lot of people though out there. There's people that are like, no, there's no way he could have done this. There's all these people. I think he could have 100%. And then, I also want to touch in on the roommate. A lot of people, especially in the beginning, and I'm going to be very respectful to the living victims that were there, because I understand flight and fright. I understand being just deadly fucking fearful. And so, a lot of people are like, how could they go back in the room? How could they not stop? Your body does things sometimes, and this I do know everybody is different on this. Some people are going to go out and try to fight and go, it's on, and other people are going to be scared. Some people, then some people are like, why didn't they hear anything? I don't know the layout of the house, but I don't think that the roommates were in on it. That's just my opinion. Is there some questions? Sure, I think everybody has, but because I understand trauma and I understand that deathly scare, uh, I'm just gonna say that my thoughts and prayers are for the roommates and the families, because this is something that's absolutely horrible. Having to live with this every day, being a family member, because I know a lot of people are like, the families are speaking too much, especially one of the fathers. Like, oh, he's speaking too much, but how would you handle that? You have to live like this, live to know that your babies, died like this. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I'd be quiet either. So well, let's see. So they want to change the venues. So right now the court date is from summer of next year, but that could change. But we do know that it is going to be televised. So I'm really glad about that, because there are cases that stuff like this, especially national cases, I feel like should be televised, so people can see what's really going on, because a lot of people live in this world and live in this bubble, and until it happens to them, they don't think about it. And these are things that we all have to think about, because things like this can happen every day. I don't get fright. Let's see, wait, hold on. Go back up. What's up, Robert? Welcome in the party. Let's see what Shelly said. I get fright, but I don't get 12 hours before you call the police. I don't either. But at the same time, I mean, I've done some pretty crazy shit that didn't make any sense when, people are scared. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing, I want to see, another thing I want to see is like that time frame. There were some friends that came over to the house, and I think these were a bunch of young kids that, because people were like, oh, they were high on drugs and this and that. I don't know about all that. You know what I mean? Like, until evidence comes out, I'm not comfortable enough to ride that ponytail. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes,
I don't
they
know why
did
any of
have.
this happened.
Yes, the cops were there for parties, but it was alcohol parties, not drugs.
Right. I mean, it's a college store, right? Like, they're gonna come and the police are gonna get called. Turn your music down. There's probably some drunk kids in the fucking yard. Like, people. I didn't go to college, but I went to college parties. You know what I mean? So that's a normal thing. I don't know if I feel comfortable with saying these kids ran a drug ring and some of the other things that I've heard. But either way, I just think these are a bunch of young people that was their friends got murdered in such a horrific way, and I think none of them probably knew what to fucking do. You know what I mean? Like, and I know we're looking for these big answers and we want to read some of these big theories, but sometimes in situations like this, it's just that they're fucking scared, and then the man wasn't caught. We got to think about that for a little bit. There was a couple days that no one knew who he was. So they didn't know if he was going to come back. They didn't know, you know what I mean? So I don't know, man.
Kohlberg is
I
asked
got to
for
respect the trauma that these victims went through. What'd you say, Mama?
Kohlberg has asked for 3 more people to join his defense team. One of them's a doctor.
500 lawyers around your desk.
He's asked 3 more people.
We'll see. What'd you say, Mama? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Kohlberg's asked for 3 more people to join his defense team. The criminal investigators to join his team. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, and I mean,
that's normal.
Something I've noticed is, I think people think the more lawyers you have around your table, whatever. I don't know, dude. I just hope that this family gets justice. I hope that, because I know a lot of people gave the police department a lot of shit, which that's what we do, right? We give shit because we want them to do their jobs the right way. So it'll be very interesting to see all this play out. One thing that I do agree with is that, I think he was planning to do this. And I think that if he wasn't caught, it would have probably happened again. And I wouldn't be surprised if something came out that he was involved in. Yeah, he's gonna go for that, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's gonna get it. I mean, it's been, like the Bryce that we went to trial with. I think he got it. He got he got some insanity to where like they wouldn't give him the death penalty, but at the same time he was still able to. Hello, what are we doing? He was able to stand trial. So even though they go for that insanity and stuff like that, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to save them from some accountability. It might save them from the death penalty. But I've seen situations to where they still have to stand trial for that. So, and this guy got 3 life sentences and no chance of parole. So,
yeah.
So, all right. Well, we have been on for a little bit. Let's see, where's our time thing at? Which case do you want to cover next week? I'm gonna let you choose. Hold on one second. Really? Sorry. Popping fucking balloons and shit.
You think he's going for insanity, Mitch?
Give me one second.
No, he's got one of the top lawyer, Mitch.
I'm to play with balloons. I'm like, come on, help me out here. Anyway, Mama, what case were you wanted to do next week?
Well, we got
Mama?
a couple.
Can y'all hear me?
You want to do the Tim Ballard one? We got a lot on that one.
All right. Well, I don't know what happened to Mama, but all right, y'all. So this is the end of this broadcast. So this is just
you can't hear me.
You guys kind of know what's going on. And so yeah, there's a lot of people that represent themselves. Look at the man that just did. Ted Bundy did it. The guy that ran through all the parade stuff. So I don't think people should represent themselves in murder trials, but that's just me. Maybe he can, and then he will get convicted for sure, hopefully. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, this has been a great show. I don't know what happened to Mama. I think she fell off the chair. So we will. I will keep you guys updated.
I'm still here.
We're gonna do Tim Ballard. Okay, cool. We're gonna do Tim Ballard next week. Yay! I was like, what happened to Mama? She fell off the chair. We are gonna cover some stuff in Tim Ballard next Thursday. If you do not know who Tim Ballard is, this is something I'm very passionate about. I am a human trafficking survivor, for those that do not know. And Tim Ballard is the guy that just produced the last trafficking movie out. And a lot of people really like Tim Ballard still to this day. And so we've done shows on him before, and I've had other survivors of trafficking come up and talk about things with that. We do not support him. We have not supported him. As a matter of fact, I did a whole show on that when the movie came out. And a lot of people told me told survivors we were jealous, and because he's doing the work and all this other stuff. Well, come to find out, he's got all kinds of cases going on, and looks like he might be involved in some trafficking. So we're going to cover all of that next week, and we've broke down a lot in that case too. So, oh, well, my bad. I'm sorry, Mama. So we're going to go over that next week, and then we will see you guys then. So Ted Bundy would be a good one too. Yeah, we could do that too. We're going to get through some of the ones that we've been doing and just give updates on that. That way everybody can go, okay, because some people like true crime, but they don't necessarily want to go look and watch every single little thing to figure out what's real and what's not. And so, like I said, I will have Mama send me some things particular for this, and it will be on my community page. You guys can go check whatever it is I post. It might be a couple posts because they only let you post 5 pictures at a time, but I can post a lot of links. So we'll post a bunch of stuff so you guys can, anybody that gets bored and wants to go look at some stuff, they can. Otherwise, we will see you guys next week. And everybody have a great night. And thanks for hanging out with us tonight, you guys. Everybody have a good night. I have not done Green River Killer, but maybe we will once we get through. So what we will be covering, we got the Idaho 4 knocked out. Once a month, once we get caught up on everything, we'll do a little update show if anything comes out. That way you guys can know. But we'll do this. We're going to cover Tim Ballard next week. There's a OnlyFans model that killed her boyfriend. We're covering. We've been following that. Also, for those that have been following our little true crime stuff, even though I haven't done it in a couple months, if you remember correctly, we also covered the couple that their baby was died at birth and was decapitated. I just posted an update on that case on my community page. Please go watch it. People need to know about that case. It's very, very sad, and it's very disturbing how this hospital covered this up. The baby's neck broke during birth. Then they went in and did a C-section. The baby got decapitated. The hospital actually wrapped this baby up and tried to tell the mother to get a cremated and just all kinds of different things. It's a pretty wild story. It is on my community page. It's like a 20-minute video. It's a bunch of updates on that, so you can definitely check that out. Otherwise, we will talk to y'all later. Have a great night. Be blessed and be a part of the solution. But if you're gonna be the problem, be the whole damn problem. Holler.